Men trying to imagine the female coming of age and say, okay, so imagine a car. Someone told me Utena turns into a car in the movie, and I was expecting a throwaway gag, Nanami turns into a cow, Utena turns into a car, but no, Utena turning into a car is the climax of the movie. Allow me to present myself. My name is Mercedes Asamelis, and my ambition is to talk about as many transformations I can. If there is a transformation in a piece of media, I'm there. So, Utena turns into a car, this movie falls under my jurisdiction. I should talk about the show first, right? I liked it a lot, but I won't pretend I decode the whole thing. The parts that were not Nanami episodes just washed over me. But Nanami, man, I fell for Nanami completely. I even printed a frame of her on the anime and I put it on my wall. And now she greets me every morning. She always so smug like, and I'm like, but the rest of the show's politics, romance, longing, heartbreak, don't map cleanly onto me. I had never been in a romantic relationship myself, so half of the metaphors simply had nowhere to land. The aesthetics though, those hit really hard. Still, I gotta rewatch it. The whole subversion of the woman as a prince archetype is really fascinating. But the backstories interest me even more. There is something weirdly addictive about understanding people's traumas, the way it reveals the logic behind their behavior. In a way, it's like drinking blood. But let's focus on the movie. I actually like this movie a lot. Yeah, it's a samurai movie, but it's still very stylish, it's very bold, it's a beautiful, beautiful mess. And in any case, what matters most is the car chase scene. This scene is important because it mixes deep emotion with the absurd, and the combination feels incredibly honest to me. It's a car chase, it's goofy, there is barely any dialogue, but it's uplifting in a way that is hard to describe. It hits that exact nerve where there is something so ridiculous that you can help to see it as truly honest. It's whimsy functioning as emotional truth. Yeah, the line is not mine, but I thought it did fit my thoughts, so. The sexual imagery is true, and what's more, honest. People like to say, yeah, Utena turning into a car is about her coming in age and whatever. But the thing is that Anthe is literally inside Utena. You know what that means, right? You know what that means. The strength of this metaphor is not how hidden it is, because it's not. It's very thin veiled when you think about it. The strength it has is that it's pretty goofy. Your brain wants to be mad because we are seeing a scene where a girl is inside another girl. The other part of your brain says, man, she turned herself into a car. It short circuits you. Do you see what I mean? It's not the symbolism, but also the feeling. It's the shock of watching something scandalous, but that scandalous thing existing only deep inside your head. You can reproach anyone about the scene because you have no proof of what it really means. So she turned herself into a car, man. This is the kind of material black magic is made from. Something that enters deep inside your head and you can't get rid of, but it changes you inside, even you can tell what it was. So just give me a second. I'm gonna show you how this scene works. Okay, so we have Anthe inside Utena. You know what I mean? This is a block of thought, an idea that your brain can interpret in several ways. And the several ways that your brain can do it matter. But we need to, for do that, we need to get the idea to you somehow. So we are going to build some sort of curtain or some sort of protection, if you will. The first protection is the graphical one. How the scene is depicted. This is a Yuri car chase scene, and this is the first layer of the scene that will make your brain accept the scene at first sight. You see what I mean? This is the first layer of protection, and you can, even if your brain wants to touch inside this idea, it can't, because there is a protection layer. You know what I mean? You can't play with the idea consciously thanks to this protection, thanks to this layer. Now we have the graphical layer. You know what I mean? How the car is depicted, like there is cars, there is a road, there is whatever in this scene. But we need to talk about also about how, what is the explanation, how the scene is explained. And they said, I think the explanation given was, I saw some comments that was like a Judy, well, not Judy, an Utena coming of age, something like that, a Yuri Utena coming of age or whatever. And this is the second layer, the explanation of what the scene quote unquote means. And this is the second layer of protection. You can't touch it because you say, oh no, it's about Utena being inside or whatever, or you know, exactly. And this is the second layer. Tin, 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 tin. So your brain just can't really touch it. You can't touch the idea consciously because there are several layers of protection to this idea. But your brain is still going to understand this symbol at the very first, at some level, at some primal level, is going to understand what is happening here. Then you might say, okay, so you're having two lesbians having sex on screen, and the only way that you can do it is just with a car chase scene. Isn't that a bit pathetic? Isn't that a bit sad? And that is actually another layer of protection. Sad. That is the sad. That, like, it's not even a win for you. You might say it's not even a win. It's not even a win. It's just a silly car chase, and that is another layer of protection. So see, well, whatever. This is the how symbolism works with this scene. You can't see what is happening. You can see it because this whole thing is transparent, but you can touch it. You can absolutely do anything about it. But the idea is still going to reach to your brain before you can even manipulate it on your own, because it has not only one, not two, but three layers of protection in its symbolism. That is what makes this scene so genius. And what makes it double as genius is that this thing is transparent. It's so, it's not like saying oh, a rose, she gives him a rose, and you can say, okay, there is nothing scandalous about that, or someone giving roses something, or a kiss or something. The symbolism is very strong, but it is also very what is the word, obtuse, so it's very hard to see. And the only way to do it is to reach the idea in other ways, like going through a here, and then you reach the idea. No, here we have Anthi inside Utena. Exactly, you can say that Anthi is inside Utena, and the scene is still true in all the levels you want to say it. Does that make sense? I think I'm drilling at this point. And yeah, before you ask, this happens all the time with art. That's why symbolism is a thing. That's why fiction works the way it does. This is why this scene is so genius. Also, can I talk about the feeling of this scene? The feel, the kind of thing on a narrative piece of media that is very difficult to measure. We have a hopeful tone in the scene, and everyone is like, oh yeah, let's go, you can win. But also, she turns herself into a car. I just can't help but feel absolutely electrified by how ridiculous and hopeful this thing is. Have you ever read a love story that is so ridiculous that you say, cringe, but your brain is absolutely bedazzled by how passionate it is that you can just help to say for a single second, the only second that matters, you say, this thing is real? This thing is real, because nobody could make something this ridiculous on purpose. Yeah, it was presented as fiction to me, but this happened. This is based on a true actual event. This is real. This is life. If there is one thing I truly love, it's art that is so whimsical that goes way beyond the point of laughter, but that is also that is so emotionally intense that you can just help but feel absolutely bedazzled by the audacity of it being polished. And this is it. This is it. Is it. This is it. Is it. Someone thought, let's turn Utena into a car, and they just not kept the idea. They made sure it was animated the whole way through and included it in the actual film. I really like the person that came up with this and made sure that it was finished to completion. I really do, seriously. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a recap movie. It moves too fast, it skips half of the emotional groundwork, and if you want the full thematic arc, the show did that years earlier, and it did it slowly, but that's exactly why this car scene matters so much. It's the moment where the movie stops pretending to summarize Utena and just commits to expressing something bold in the weirdest, funniest way possible. That's why execution matters. It's not that ideas are new, but execution is. My name is Mercedes Hasamelis, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you. Nanami, man, Nanami is everything. Nanami is everything, man. Nanami is everything. Nanami is everything, man. Nanami is everything.